Frisson, fil fidify, widify, widify, sayayang, widify.
Hello, one and all, and welcome to Let's Play Vandal Hearts. I am the Max of Few Trades, and this is a Let's Play that I really, truly hope ends up being something special, because this game means a lot to me. Many, many years ago, when I was just a small lad, one day my dad came home with a PlayStation 1 and a big box of games from a coworker that said he didn't want them anymore. And inside of it was a lot of different games of a lot of different genres, things I had never seen before. I was still very young and hadn't seen all that there was that video games could be. I had only maybe played things like, Diddy Kong Racing and Bomberman and, Mario All-Stars to an extent when my sisters let me actually play the Super Nintendo. When it came to games that were a little more, I guess, seriously, minded when it came to their storytelling and more complex gameplay aspects. A lot of the games I had there were able to teach me these things, and Vandal Hearts, right alongside The Legend of Dragoon, was basically my introduction to RPGs and tactical thinking, essentially. And it's something that's always, rested, in my heart as something truly special. It's not a perfect game. I don't want to try and sell you that idea. It's got some silliness to it, and it's got some jank, and I'm honestly looking forward to showing off everything about it. The good, the silly, everything in between. So I sincerely hope that you are interested to learn more, because I've got a lot of things that I'd love to show you all. Right out the get-go, here's a fun fact. Inside the jewel case for the game is an advertisement for Suikoden, with all of its bad box art glory. Who are these people? I don't know. So there you go. If that ain't proof that I'm full of fun facts, I don't know what will prove it. So, yeah. We're just gonna... I had to go into the options, otherwise the demo screen was gonna start, and it's absolutely chock full of spoilers, and I couldn't let that happen. So yeah, let's just jump in and get this story started.
Sostagaria. For over a millennium, the fertile lands in the heart of this vast continent were ruled by the Holy Asha dynasty, descendants of Toroa the Messiah. However, it is man's doom to forget. Amidst all the wealth and exotic pleasures, the nobility lost their way and sank into corruption and depravity, forgetting even the holy teaching of Toroa. It was in these days of unrest that the citizens, struggling under an oppressive regime, rose up and, under the leadership of Aris the Sage, took up arms against the kingdom. That was the first outbreak of violence in what would later be known simply as the Revolution. The royal army's counterattack was swift and fierce, but time and time again they were put to flight by the cunning strategies of Aris and the indomitable will of the advancing Liberation Army. Victory in hand, the rebels set up a council and worked to establish the continent's first democracy. And so, the Republic of Ishtaria was born. However, Aris the Sage, whom all hoped would lead the country, mysteriously vanished and has not been seen again to this day. Now, 15 years later, the shadow of war once again threatens Ishtaria.
Tragically, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Be it human nature to fight never-ending wars? God, I would certainly like to think not. Now, if that just ain't the most ominous sight imaginable. I don't think anything good has ever started with the sky turning purple. "1254 at Gilbaris Island, Castle Ruins." Man, I just gotta start right out the gate. The game's music and its art style, the way the sprites look and the way they move. God, nostalgia overload. I just adore the way this game looks. What is this place? Very opulently decorated. Gotta give kudos to the interior decorator on this one. They spared no expense. Ah, a hidden room. You know they found it behind a bookcase. What's that? Oh, that sparkle. This must be it. These rays. What's happening? In retrospect, that mystical artifact might have been hidden away in a secret room for a reason. Chapter 1, A Premonition of War. I'm excited. It's been so long since I've gotten to play this. I've waited years to properly Let's Play it. I'm looking forward to this a lot. Okay, alright. Ash. Ash! Whoa, what's going on? I wasn't asleep. Ash! Huh? Sorry. I was just thinking. Well, you better get up. We've got some trouble. We're surrounded. Oh, dear God, we're under assault by the Potbelly Gang. They're known far and wide for their, nastiness. Let's be real. You're trapped. Don't you know that this valley belongs to the Fangs of Umbaba? They're just some dumb wandering peddlers. Ignorance is the root of misfortune, as they say. I'm not gonna say that's not surprisingly eloquent for a man missing a front tooth. If you want to live, hand over everything you got. Although we'll probably kill you anyway. Right, boss? You got that right. Oh, you have got to be kidding me with all this. Too scared to talk, baby. Alright, so, lesson 1 about Vandal Hearts. If there's even the smallest possibility you have ever heard of this game in any context whatsoever over the course of your life, it's because of exactly what you are about to see in 3, 2, 1... That, ladies and gentlemen, is the trademark Vandal Hearts Blood Geyser. Every time anybody dies in this game, they friggin' explode. What the... Where's that stupid laugh now? Now you're the ones who are trapped. Who the hell are you guys? Dramatically revealed! Ash Lambert, 3rd Platoon, Ishtarian Security Forces. Diego Renault, from the same. Clint Picard, likewise. Ash? Ash of the Black Wind? Surrender quietly, and we'll grant you quarter. Against only 3? Kill them now! Ah, that was not in your best interest, sir. Victory equals the defeat of Zutgach. Defeat is if Ash gets himself completely obliterated. That's the kind of game we're operating on. If the main man, Ash, over here goes down, the whole mission is kaputskis. You're gonna get a lot of different mission types, so you're not always going to only be able to get away with just defeating the main head honcho and finishing things off like that, but it is gonna be pretty fairly common. Alright, so man, oh man, where do we even begin with any of this? Alright, well, let's just start with the very, very bare basics. Ash and Clint here have swords, and Diego has a bow. This game, like so many other tactics games, likes to implement a bit of a advantage-disadvantage system, depending on the weapons going against each other. In this particular instance, we're gonna need to be a little bit careful with our friend Diego. Powerful as he may be, he is susceptible to being stabbed. He takes bonus damage from swords. So if we can go ahead and try and take care of that before it becomes a sincere issue, that'd be pretty dang fantastic. So, spin that blade! Yeah, no, you really are gonna have to get used to the blood geysers. That is a thing of which this game is rather famous. Alright, now we'll just have Ash head over here and give him the old 1-2! There we are. Ash is ever so slightly stronger than his friends at this moment, so he does a little bit of extra damage. Good to take note of that fact. Alright. After that, your turn is over, and you gotta let the bad guys do their thing. Oh boy. Alright. However, what is incredibly lucky for us is the fact that, much like how our archer here is susceptible to swords, so are their archers. So, do yourself a favor and take advantage of that fact as often as you possibly can. Yep. Also, you know, naturally keep Diego as far away from direct combat as you can possibly manage. It will not go well for the poor guy. Alright, so yeah, go ahead and do your best at keeping there being a bit of a wall of allies around to protect him. Hoo-yah! There you go. You know, at any given moment in time, you guys are more than welcome to, you know, just surrender. Like, you don't all have to die. It's interesting how adamant you are about this whole thing. Also, this is pretty dang important, so you might as well learn it here and learn it now. The direction in which you are facing is vital. If a character attacks from the front, then there's a pretty sizably decent chance that they're going to block and take 0 damage entirely. You do not want that. I mean, you want it to happen when it's you, but when it's an enemy situation, When you attack from the side, you're pretty likely to be able to always hit them, but there's a small chance that they can still block it. If you can swing it, always try to attack from behind. The bad guys are usually going to try and do the same thing. Not always. The artificial intelligence of the characters that you're going up against can be a bit hit or miss here and there. For example, this guy doesn't seem to realize how incredibly unintelligent it is to put himself over there. Also, this is a fun little factoid. Yeah. If a character is attacked in any context whatsoever, they will counterattack. Also, unfortunately, it's looking like Clint is gonna get taken out. Damn. Sorry, I've gotta fall back. That is all kinds of unfortunate. But this game is known for being ever so slightly ruthless, so it's just the way things are going to be, sadly. Alright, well, let's try and do our absolute best to try and strategize our way through this situation. Okay, so what we really need to do... be mindful of where your enemies can stand. Naturally, the head honcho is going to be a little bit more powerful than your typical run-of-the-mill fella. So let's go ahead and have Diego stand over here. If anything, we're going to do our absolute best to try and bait Zoot here into attacking Ash specifically. He'll be able to take a hit or two. This guy, however, will not. Alright, so then... Alright. Not the most ideal of starting spaces, but we're gonna have to find a way to make it work. Here we go, see? I told you, they always game for the back. Because that is the only surefire way to ensure that you always, always hit. Also, I am honored to introduce you to the happy dance of level up. Anytime a character levels up, they just go absolutely crazy. And you know what? It's delightful, is what it is. All right, archer support! There we are. Also, being surrounded by allies does a lot when it comes to boosting your odds of being able to hit enemies. So, you know, there you go. There's another little thing for you. And with that, Watanga! Don't kill me! I'm pleading with you. And for some reason, we don't. We really just let this dude live. Anywho, at the end of every single fight, you're gonna get a big old tally. For every enemy you defeat, you get some money, and for every ally you lose a little money. So, you know, obviously, always in your best interest to not lose any of your units. Luckily, there's no permadeath feature in this game. Boy, that would be rough. That should teach you guys that... Huh? It's you! I knew I'd seen you before. Zoot Gak. What? The same Zoot Gash that we threw in jail just 2 months ago? Huh? Same boneheaded grin. Don't you recognize him? I mean, admittedly, it is kind of hard to forget a hairstyle like that. The pleasure's all mine. Wait a minute. Only 2 months and he's already out? He must have busted out. True, but I don't think for a minute that this loser would be able to break himself out of prison. Staves and stones may crack your bones, but it don't bother me, because my friends won't forget about me. What does that mean? Answer me! Nothing, I'm just mumbling. I think I get it. Bandits have shut off the trade in this valley. Whoever freed him is probably heaping huge black market profits. A crooked politician or merchant pulled strings. So what else is new? It burns me up. Should I put an arrow in him right now, Ash? No, stop! Old Diego, killing this flea is no answer. Our job is finished. Let's go back to Shumaria. I mean, that didn't stop us from absolutely annihilating the rest of his gang. I mean, they're all dead as hell. Why does this one specific guy get to survive? Just strikes me as ever so slightly silly. Ah, well. I'm sure it's not going to amount to anything towards the midpoint of the game. Definitely not. No. And hello to the world map, where you can check out your item supplies and whatnot. Here's some important factoids for you. You can only hold on to 2 items in battle, and you can get new stuff in between missions. So, you know, if you ever gotta do that, you gotta do that. However, do keep in mind that the amount of gold in this game is fixed. Like, you're only gonna be able to get money off of selling certain items and defeating enemies. There's no way to grind out extra money, so you do need to be mindful of that. Everybody here is holding on to an herb. Very nice. We've also got the depot, holding on to all the stuff that we can't hold otherwise, but we're doing just fine there. Don't gotta worry about that. Let's also take a quick look-see-loo just at our stats in general, you know, so you can familiarize yourself with everything. There you are. We got Ash, who's just all in all a good character. He also has a little tiny sliver of magic that I'll get into in a little bit. And yeah, unfortunately, it looks like Clint and Diego didn't get to level up in that last encounter, so we're gonna have to make sure to put them on the forefront of the next one. That's how we're gonna do it. Oh yes. To the capital! Who knows what crazy shenanigans will transpire? First, let's go to HQ and give a report. No, BKB. He do be the leader. Also, he literally won't let you go anywhere else unless you do, so... yeah, just go ahead and get some of that there story taken care of. And that concludes my report. I see. Well done. Let's take a good look into the background of this Zoot Gak. I agree. As always, the big guy gets away, the truth gets swept under the carpet, and only the small guy gets screwed. Hey, you're out of line! Honestly, I don't really think that he is. And Clive here is a little inclined to agree. You're right. There are lots of things wrong with this government. Corrupt politicians, oppressive taxes, and not enough police. The rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. No matter how filthy things get, as long as we remember who we are, we, the people, have the freedom to change things for the better. And it's that freedom that so many people died for 15 years ago. I understand. No one was questioning your understanding of the situation, Ash. Come on now. I had no right to mouth off like that. I'm sorry. Oh, no, it's all right. I mean, objectively, you're entirely correct. In any case, you all did a fine job. Why don't you relax a little? Relax? In this economy? Are you joking, mister? Alright, I mean, I guess we can sure make an attempt. Alright. Now, how about we head to the tavern for a drink? And, just throwing this out there, you more than most likely won't need to, but you can head to the shop now. Just throwing that out there. There's some new weapons and what have you that you can get and stuff. Stabs, oh my. Giving away a different character type we'll see later. How scandalous. Some new armors if and you so choose as well. All things you're going to have to get around to eventually. Herbs, mage oils to restore your MP, elixirs to heal status ailments, and fire gems in case you ever feel like throwing balls of fire at people's faces. So, you know, all the huge. I need to kind of stockpile my money at the start, so we're gonna have to just, you know, chill with what we've got for now. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Let's talk to the locals. I thought it would get better after the war, but now everything is taxed and you can't walk on the streets at night. Terrible shame, that. The streets are filled with criminals, and our council is filled with politicians who only care about padding their own nests. Now it's daily terrorist threats. What's gonna happen to this country? Boy, do you not even know. Anywho. The terrorists killed Mr. Smetana, head of the council, just 3 days ago. They say it was the work of the old royalists. But if you ask me, it could have been any of a dozen different groups. I'm just surprised it didn't happen sooner. To say the bare minimum, morale of the lands aren't exactly high at the moment. If Horus were here to see how things have turned out, I wonder what he would say. Well, probably for you, in your best interest to not dwell upon such things. Help! Somebody! Riot! What? Calm down and tell us what happened. A riot has broken out in the Dover district. Dover district? AKA the Royal Ghetto. But they hate bloodshed. They're always the first to negotiate. Well, that's the terrible part. The army decided that the royalists were behind the assassination of Smetana, and they came to take Count Claymore away. Things got tense, the young nobles gathered around the soldiers, and there was some shoving, and someone drew a sword. What kind of fool? Let's get over there right away. Vamonos! We've got so much to do. All right, heading on out. All right. What seems to be the problem around these here parts? I say as if I don't know. These are the advanced troops? We surrender! Surrender to death? And that's the senseless slaughter of protesters. Barbarians! Crimson Guard, special anti-terrorist forces. An elite fighting force formed by the well-known right-winger Hell Spites. Oh, well, with a name like Hell Spites, I'm sure he's a real paragon. Only the kindest of souls here. Definitely not on the nose with that one. They're famous for being ruthless with terrorists, but this is too much. Troops, assemble. God, you guys could not look eviler if you tried. Well, if it isn't the security forces. What are you doing poking your little noses around here? I know you. You're Ash Lambert, the son of a traitor becoming a platoon leader. What a joke. What did you say? You scum! Stop it, both of you. Not for nothing, but shout out to Diego and Clint for defending their friends. But Ash, let him talk. Always trying to sound like a saint, aren't you? As you can see, we've cleared out the area of enemies. Some are still holed up in the church, but we have business elsewhere. As long as you're here, you can take care of those left in the church. Make sure you do a good job now. Blech. What a tool shed. A lousy creep. Yes, but what are we going to do, Ash? Let's go and see if they'll surrender. It looks like there are no enemies around, but don't relax your guard. Incredibly solid advice, considering that the ghosts of the damned are inexplicably being teleported in. That's just gonna be a thing that's gonna happen sometimes. Be mindful of it. Where do these monsters come from? They've been summoned by a powerful mage. We're gonna have to cut through them. I mean, the greater majority of them are ghosts. So you just kind of assume that sort of thing wouldn't exactly be possible. Again, you know, ghosts and cutting through things. Yeah. Anywho, I guess I kind of neglected to mention that you can move around the camera as much as you want. I don't know why you would ever use this specific camera angle. Just about every single map of the game, you're not going to be able to see anything. So I always try to zoom it all the way up as much as I possibly can. All right. So, in the last battle, we saw that archers aren't particularly good against people with swords. So you might be wondering, well, what exactly are they going to be useful for? Well, the answer is very obvious and simple. If anything, and I do mean anything, is flying in the air, archers can take them down so fast. For example, check this out. Now, I know what you might be thinking, or at the very least wondering. Why did a ghost explode into a blood geyser? And I counter that with this. Why wouldn't a ghost explode into a blood geyser? Have you ever met a ghost? Much less have you ever tried stabbing one? They can be full of blood. You have no way of knowing. Prove me wrong. Anywho, we've also got treasure chests every which way. So do be mindful of that, if and you can possibly manage it. All right, next up, let's go ahead. We'll just move a little bit over this way. Not have Ash do much. He doesn't really need to do a whole lot. It's fine as is. And here come the war ghosts, attempting to stab a man straight in the back. All right, well, let's see how good of an idea that was. Not particularly good for you. All right. The good news is we can actually have Clint finish that particular enemy off. Oh, jeez. All right, well, this is unfortunate. Whew. Okay, all right. All y'all back straight the hell off, why don't you? All right, don't worry about them gobos over there. They literally cannot do anything. This is a pretty filthy place for nobles to live. And after the war, their estates were confiscated, and a special tax was levied on them. They can't even vote. Just as the Ashara dynasty did. We are oppressing them just for being who they are. Politicians always make the weak in society pay for others' mistakes. That would make anyone want to fight back. True enough. All right, so first and foremost, we need to get all of these ghosts out of our biz. All right. There you go. Really, I should still be playing it a bit more carefully. Damn, double level up for Diego. Love to see it. But yeah, no, I should be trying to play it a little more safe, because even if an enemy is weak to a particular type of weapon, there's still a chance that they can block it. You do need to be very mindful of that. Anywho, good news for Clint. Whoosha! That should level him up too. There we go. All right, that makes up for a little bit of everything that we were dealing with before. All right, so next up, you know what? I'm actually going to have Ash advance forward. He's not going to attack. I'm going to have Clint take care of that last ghosty ghost right there. What I am going to have Ash do is summon his fairy to initiate self-healing. Yeah, so not only can Ash cast magic, he apparently knows a fairy that's more than happy to heal him whenever he needs it. We're not really given any reason to know what the deal with that is. Nor does any other character in the game have access to it, so, I have no idea what to tell you on that one. Anywho, man had his absolute pick, and he chose poorly. Unless, if I recall... Yep, nope. Ah! See? There we go. All right, you know what? This actually works great for two reasons. One, it actually shows off the defending aspect that enemies can do. And also it, you know, again, lets Clint finish things up. We have to release that drawbridge. If we examine the switch, it should release it. We'll get there, we'll get there. I've got, like, all sorts of other things I gotta do first, okay? So you just hang out over there for a little bit while Diego and Clint do what they can to just solve all the problems over here. First things first, get rid of this goddamn ghost! There you go. Don't need any of that anymore. Okay, very nice, very nice. All right, so now Diego. Okay, so, man, you see this little spot right here? I mean, it kind of looks a little weird, but maybe not weird enough that you wouldn't really have thought about it unless I mentioned it. Now that I have mentioned it, you're like, huh, yeah, that is actually a little weird. Well, check this mess. Head on over, examine, ba-ba-ba-ba-boom. Free better bow for Diego right out the get-go. Pretty fantastic stuff. Initially, the game is pretty blatant about where you can find things on the ground, but you still need to look for them. Like I said, it's more than easy to just kind of not notice things like this, or even know to look for things like this. Regardless, we might have it, but you can't equip it while in the fight, so do be mindful of that. Because now Diego is going to be carrying that around for the remainder of the mission, and that means he's not going to be able to pick up anything else. You gotta know who to give what to and when. Now I'm going right around this here corner because, wouldn't you know it, crack on the floor means free stuff for us. Dun da da da! Behold, mushroom. Ain't that something? Let's see, the mushroom. I don't know what the mushroom does, actually. If I'm being real with you, I don't know. So, yeah. I suppose we could consume it. But is that really a risk that I'm willing to take at this juncture? Questions abound. You know, I'm just gonna go ahead and not. I'm gonna go ahead and not. You know, that's gonna be my prerogative. Instead, Diego, I'm gonna need you to slam jam that button on down, my friend. Thank you kindly. Thank you kindly. Papambo! And there you go. Now we just gotta do ourselves some battling with some gobos, and we can get ourselves right on out of here. Ain't that swell? Alright. Luckily, the arrows shouldn't do too much damage. Yeah, no. Just be mindful, and you'll be able to handle it. Because I really need Clint to wander on in over there and mess up a fool or two. I don't want any of our characters lagging behind everybody else. I mean, granted, there is a failsafe in that event, because if the more lower level a character is, the more EXP they just get in general. So it all compensates for itself. And even if you feel like it's still too dangerous to have a low-level character run up and do something, you don't need to worry about it, actually, because there are other ways around that. For example, you can actually use healing items, and that will actually boost HP. You can use, like, items on other characters, and that does basically the same thing. You've got options, so you don't gotta worry too much about any of that. And Shiha Kazing! There you are. And then there was an arrow volley. Freaking ouch. Ain't you a right proper pain in the tweese? Downright disgraceful. Alright. Oh, you going after Clint yet again, are ya? Alright, well, that's certainly within your rights. However, it's ultimately going to be a horrible decision on your part. Mostly due to the fact that you're about to be the big dead. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Alright, a double block. Sure, why not? Alright, now, I am relatively correct in this whole... Yeah, you can. Alright. It has been a while, but I was feeling mighty confident about that. Still, had to make sure. Any ding-dang way. No sense letting our friends take any unnecessary damage. There you go. And another level up for the main man. Let's go. Alright, something else I'm relatively certain of is that characters with bows cannot open treasure chests at all. Because they smack them with the weapon, and I guess the arrow is considered not, I don't know, good enough for that? I'm really not entirely sure. Regardless, there you go. Can't hold anymore, so it gets sent to the supply wagon. So don't worry, things don't automatically get tossed out or anything. However, you also don't get to pick and choose what items get sent. If you just don't have room, then they just get sent. End of story. So many things of which to be mindful of. Alright, so, in order to actually end this mission, despite the fact that all of the enemies are the big dead, we need to get everybody at the front door of this area. Everybody's absolutely most favorite part of tactical RPGs. One by one, slowly inchworming all of your cast over to any given direction in order to advance the plot. I sass and I make fun, but honestly, for whatever reason, it's endearing to me at this point. It just doesn't feel like a tactics game unless it makes you do that sometimes. Anywho, bada bing, bada boom. Another mission successfully completed. And this time we didn't lose anybody in the process. I can't promise that going forward, but I am certainly going to try. Just because I played this game a lot doesn't mean I'm an expert at it. Perish the thought. Side note, absolutely adore that these rioters have literal boards with nails in them as their weapon. That's just amazing.
He's got a board with a nail in it.
Good against aliens, but not so much against people in armor. You're surrounded. Drop your weapons. We don't want any more needless bloodshed. Yes, hello. You mean that, don't you? Yes, of course I do. I ain't a big fan of doing the murders. Don't listen, Count. He's a blood-drinking devil. Okay, well, that's a baseless assumption on your part, and I'm slightly offended. But if we continue, everyone will die. Excuse me, Count, but how can you trust these soldiers that just slaughtered us? Peace needs to begin somewhere. Also, this man seems different than those Crimson murderers. Mostly the lack of anything resembling Crimson. I'll give him a chance. We surrender. And down go the boards. I'm Ash Lambert, Ishtarian Security Force. Thank you for your quick compliance. My name is Roland Claymore. This riot is my responsibility. Please do not blame anyone else. We have laws here. It's not for me to decide. But I will report that you offered us no resistance. That usually gives you some brownie points. Uh-oh. That's enough. Stop right there. Because of course this guy just had to come back. The Crimson Guards have come back. Nice job for a bunch of weaklings like you. But we'll assume control from this point on. Or maybe the son of a traitor wants to take credit for this. I want no credit. Do as you like. Thank you, I will. Which one is Claymore? As if that were not obvious. I am. Good! Come over here. I have no need for the others. Kill them. Now might be a good time to point out that this game's story can get a little dark. What have you done? Ugh. Murderer. I won't forget this. Kane, you bastard! So the traitor finally shows his colors? Good! I've wanted to cross swords with you for a long time. How this man has a sword as tall as he is, I don't know. Stop it, you two! Commander Beckett, stop. You've both sworn to defend this country. Leave us be, old man. You had best watch that mouth of yours, Kane. The Crimson Guard is already in enough trouble with the Council. More trouble and even your dad Hell's spites won't be able to help. Save your hollow threats for someone else. But I will be a big man and forget your rude words to me today. However, I'm taking this old blue blood with me. Damn him. Thanks for staying cool, Ash. It'll be fine. Maybe for us, but not for the people who were just murdered for no reason. I doubt they're finding much comfort in any of this. The next day. Excuse me, sir? I'm coming in anyway, regardless of permission. Oh, you must be Ash. That be me, who be thee? Ash, this is Dolph Crowley, a representative from the Young Revolutionary Party. Nice to meet you. Dolph has been sent out as a mediator to deal with yesterday's incidents. Oh, is that what we're calling it? I understand exactly how you feel, Ash. The Crimson Guards were completely at fault in yesterday's massacre. Normally, there would be no need for a mediator in a case like this, but there are a few complications. As you know, the Crimson Guards are the pet project of Hell's Spites, the Minister of Defense. Hell's tactics may be questionable, but his power and influence in the Council are not. I personally think that he's a dangerous man who needs to be watched. 2 council members are competing to become head, Hell's Spites and Ronaldo Castile, who is, as you know, the head of domestic security forces, your boss. See the pattern? You're saying it's more than just a personal grudge between us and the Crimson Guard. Do you think it could escalate into a confrontation between the DSF and the army? Well, let's not be overly pessimistic, but we need to act swiftly to avoid future trouble. So, what do you want us to do? As punishment, we'll send you on leave away from your policing duties here in the capital, but that's just to establish your cover. The truth is that I have a top-secret assignment for you. I do like getting important missions. It makes me feel like a special boy. So, what is this top-secret mission? Do you know who General Magnus Dunbar is? Of course! The greatest hero of our country. Why? He's also second in line behind Hell in the Defense Ministry. Well, 3 months ago, he went to Gilbaris Island with a squad of hand-picked soldiers, and he hasn't been seen since. Obviously, somewhat concerning. Gilbaris Island? In the Gadar Sea? Why? I don't know, but I've heard rumors that he was acting on secret orders from Hell who was planning a coup d'etat. That guy is out of control. And he wants us to investigate that, huh? But Magnus is known for his sense of justice, and I don't think he would just blindly follow Hell's Spite's orders. And that simply involves some intrigue. That's kind of what we're here to figure out. The security assignment makes me uneasy. I'm still not personally sure how much we can believe this Dolph. It might be a wise idea not to accept this assignment. No, I'm going to go. If we stay here, we may cause trouble for you. You've been a good friend to me. Ash, that's not why I had you assigned here. Of course I know that. But whatever Dolph's reasons may be, we can't ignore what happened to General Magnus. That's true. I wanted to take a vacation anyway. That's gonna be the opposite of that, my guy. I understand. This is a dangerous assignment. I want you to be careful every step of the way. We'll be as careful as any group of RPG protagonists can ever realistically be given the circumstances. Not really a whole lot of options available to us, if I'm honest with you. Whew. But alright, let's take a gander at our items real fast. Okay, so Diego. You should, yeah, that's a Hunter's Bow, attack 2. We want the Light Bow, attack 3. Too many, yeah, that's not what I meant to do anyway, so it's fine. Equipment exchange. How do I... You'll have to forgive me. I Again, it's been a very, very long time since I've... Oh, okay, no. He's using the light bow now. Okay. It has been a very long time since I've last actually gotten a chance to sit down and play through this game. Okay. That said, we should theoretically... I want to make sure of some things. Just making sure that I'm not making a complete and total dunce of myself. Let me go ahead and do a quick save 'em ups. You get 3 save slots. Make sure they friggin' count. Okay? Okay. But okay, statuses, items. Okay, so you're using leather helm and leather, light helm, leather, bandana, pleather. Okay. So then we should be able to do a little bit better there. Okay, armor. So like, yeah, the light helm for Ash. Yeah, it even points out exactly how much defensive boosts you get on the corner there. Gotcha. Do you want to equip it? Yes. Do you want to may I purchase your used equipment? You may. Yeah. All right. Very convenient. Very convenient. Okay, so we should also be able to afford some pleather. Yeah, only Diego has had it, and he kind of needed it given the circumstances. So there you go. You do get a little bit of cash back by selling off your old equipment and whatnot, so definitely worth making note of. Okay, would I like to purchase this? I'm sure at least one of them uses it. Yes. Good. Very, very good. Okay. So now Ash, Clint, and Diego have the best possible gear that we can manage for them. Then the only thing I could think to do is a quick pass over of Clint's extra herb over to Diego. Also, we could sell that the heavy bow. You never need to hold on to old weapons. There's never a use for them. So don't worry about that. Boom. We're good to go. All right. Let's see. The dojo does not have any use to us. Not right now. I'll tell you all about it when it's relevant. Very quickly, I'd like to check out the bar, actually. Let's see. Welcome. How you doing? I've been better, honestly. But, I guess I've also been worse. So, Lord knows I got no right to complain. We need a powerful man to fix this country. Someone like Hell Spites who knows how to crack down on the bad guys. See, that's exactly how this whole thing ends up happening. Come on now. It's true that Hell has been tough on crime, but somehow I feel that this country is going in the wrong direction. I can't imagine why you would ever think that. Is it the bloodstains soaked through the cobblestones? Interesting. It's not just politicians that are at fault for this country's problems. The people came together to overthrow the Ashara dynasty, but afterwards they had no direction and fell into complacency. Interesting. Very interesting. All right, well, with that, I think we have managed a pretty decent starting point here for this Let's Play. I hope you are having fun. I hope you're interested in what you just saw, and that you'll join me in the next one for the next part of the story. A lot of really cool and crazy things go down, and I really hope you'll give me the chance to share it all with you. Once again, hope you had fun. I'll see you all again very soon.